What's up? This is the Week 5 podcast being done on Thursday during the New England Patriots game versus the Indianapolis Colts. That's why I have my hoodie on. I am the commissioner, Mr. Aaron Smith. I, with both of my teams, am probably going to be playing against Tom Brady. So, in lieu of that, I decided to break out the hoodie. Hopefully, that will jinx the Patriots and Brady, who usually destroy me every time I play them. So hopefully that doesn't happen this week. I'm trying to be an anti-Tom Brady fan. How about that? Anyway, moving on is the podcast. What's up, everybody? Week 5, week 4 in the books. A lot to go over. Not a lot of time to go over it. Want to get it in. So hopefully I don't know what's going on. I've been having technical difficulty getting this podcast up on the site. I record this thing from my iPad. I then save it, transfer it to YouTube. YouTube's got to do whatever it takes for them to get their videos onto their site. Once it's on their site, then I can put it onto our website. So it's been taking time. It seems like it's getting later and later. Maybe I need to start recording this podcast on Monday so that way I can have it on by the time kickoff comes on Thursday night. But in this instance, I was a little bit busy this week. That's okay, though. It's done. I'm doing it. I'm on it. I'm your guy. Jumping right into the podcast, let's first talk about the last week. My picks last week were a lot better. I'm warming up, fellas. 8-4 last week out of the 12 games, which brings my year-to-date total to 25-23, back above 500 where I'm supposed to be. Hopefully I'll stay that way the entire rest of the season. In week 4, the high score for the back-to-back weeks, and a team we might want to watch out for, hashtag Beast Mode, 296.5 points this week to claim the 10-point prize. The payer of the 10-point prize is the guy that called me last week thinking that this is his season. 6165 show. Team owner Miglik and Matt. Lousy 172.8 points gets him the low score of the week. Believe it or not, there has been lower scores this year than that point total that has not had the lowest score of the week. So it's kind of surprising to see that 172 did it, but unfortunately, that's how it goes. It's all matchups, all luck. We all know that. You put your team in the best place to win and hope it works out for you, and we'll see how it goes from that point. All right. A lot of high scoring last week. Moving on, continuing into the podcast. A lot of teams scored a lot of points. We had Old Shy Pizza score 292. Just a few points off of the high score of the week. Mile High Club, 293. Just barely missed the top score of the week. The Groovy Nube, 279.4. That means Old Shy Pie and Groovy Newbie, who's owned by the same team owner, both had teams score over 280 approximately. Pretty impressive. Paint Inc., always in the running, 289. The other team you better watch out for. So those 4 teams there I just named scored a nice high point total, just barely missing the high score of the week. I also want to key in on those teams as well. You got Beast Mode, undefeated. Looking solid. 2 back-to-back high-scoring weeks. Team you better watch out for. Paint Inc., I've already talked about this year. Everybody's playing second place to him. Has a down week, it seemed, and scored 289. Very nervous. Should be nervous. Mile High Club did pretty good this week, 293. Good team. Solid team. In my opinion, that's the worst of his 2 teams. However, I like the Nothing But Trouble team better. And as I said, Old Shy and Groovy Newbie, they both score well on a week-to-week basis. I think one of his teams are now 3-1, if I remember, and the other one's probably 4-0, if I'm not mistaken. Those guys right now are the top echelon teams. So everybody that can't compete, don't feel like those are the bar setters. If you can't compete with those teams, you better be looking at your team. It's getting long. We're about third into the season, and it's getting long. I know we have a long season, so it's starting to go, and you better watch out before you be missing the boat. My suggestion is get on the website, look at your team, try to make trades, moves, whatever you can do. There's been a ton of pickups this year. We knew that was coming. The roster limits are working out because people can't hoard players and try not to trade them. But my suggestion is I'm going to be on the site this week, or probably after this week, looking hard at trades. Anybody on my teams are available. Gurley's available. Odell Beckham. A lot of people, for some reason, are down on Odell Beckham this year. I don't know why. The guy's got excellent talent, and his quarterback may be average, but Eli Manning could be a Hall of Famer, and he will get him the ball. But I'm not on doing the podcast to post my team here. I'm saying there's a lot of teams here in this league that have good players. They can't play them and ain't trying to trade them, but they're far behind the top echelon teams in this league. You better take a look at your team and try to make some moves happen. My advice, don't try to trade with those teams that's already loaded, because you're just going to make them more loaded because they know what they got. Moving on, let's talk about my Kansas City Chiefs Monday night. Everybody's Kansas City Chiefs. They're Chiefs fans representing, winning the Denver Broncos, win to Denver, kick some butt, pulled out a win on Monday night, go 4-0. I'm going to project right now that, I know Jacksonville has a strong D coming into Kansas City. They are a warm weather team, Jacksonville. They're coming into it's supposed to be raining all weekend. I'm not for sure if it's going to be warm or cold. But I am predicting that the Chiefs at Arrowhead, fired up after beating Denver on Monday night, they will beat Jacksonville outright by more than 10 points. I think the spread is 3 right now, if I'm not mistaken. It's either 3, 4, or 5. I'm predicting the Chiefs to cover the spread and beat Jacksonville here in Kansas City convincingly and take a stranglehold on the AFC as far as having home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Next week, after this week, the Chiefs will play New England. I think that'll be the deciding factor that we will really get to see how good the Kansas City Chiefs are. But I represent Kansas City. I love Kansas City. Kansas City is where I want to be. Let's talk about injuries real quick, and I'll go into the picks for next week. The injuries, Fournette. I don't know what's wrong with this guy. He can't stay healthy to save his soul. Guy comes in, goes out. Hamstring still jacking up. He's out again. I heard 2 to 3 weeks. That's what I read. Could be longer. Don't know. Don't want him. You can have him. Come trade him. Send me a text message on the site for a trade for him. He's yours. Any tight end pretty much this year is beat up. I mean, golly, Olsen, Evan Ingram. There's been so many tight ends injured this year that there's more injured than healthy. And if you got two tight ends healthy, if you ain't got Kelsey, Gronk, and Kyle Rudolph hasn't been hurt, knock on wood, you're struggling. So those are the guys to be looking for if you're trying to make a trade because they've been healthy. Even though Gronk has been on the injury report, he has played. Gio Bernard, big loss for Cincinnati, 2 to 4 weeks. He's out. Mixon's supposed to be coming back this week. I predict some people that I talked to outside of the football league, I said that I don't like Joe Mixon. I think he's really overrated. Cincinnati is going to miss Bernard. I think that they'll try to feed this Mixon the ball, but what I've noticed from this guy is he's a dancer. He's not a hole hitter. He waits and dances, and he just doesn't have the killer ability that the running back they need. I tell you what, Cincinnati, if they weren't in Pittsburgh's division, they should be contacting Pittsburgh trying to get a hold of Le'Veon Bell because he'd be a monster with that team, in my opinion, with A.J. Green, and the name is Dalton, and the weapons that they got on defense is pretty solid as well. So speaking of Le'Veon Bell, rumors came out that he's going to be reporting to the Steelers on their bye week, which is week 7, and so I know that there's teams that have Le'Veon Bell that's excited, thinking that he's going to play in week 8. I did have a chance to read that I think Le'Veon Bell does report in week 7 as projected. He may play some on week 8, but he is not immediately going to get handed back the reins of the running game. Now, I know James Conner's been struggling the last couple weeks. The Steelers have committed this week to try to get him the ball. But what I've read, and my information mostly is accurate, that Le'Veon Bell is still on the trade block. The Steelers would like to get something from him because they know that they're going to lose him. And he's not going to resign there, so they would like to trade him, and they are completely happy with James Conner. He will be potentially splitting carries more than you know once he gets back. So just letting you know that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to devalue him in any means. I'd love to have Le'Veon Bell on my team. If the team's got him, hit me up. I'll trade for him. So last but not least, we'll go into Cook, Dalvin Cook from Minnesota. This guy can't stay healthy either. Ever since that injury last year, he's been off and on. Murray looks like the pickup of the week. Could start out and have a big game this week against Philadelphia. Maybe pick him up if you need a running back. So I'm at 9 minutes and 50 seconds, running a little long, mumbling about this podcast, but wanted to give you guys what you look for, and that's the information from the commissioner's view. Everybody likes it. I get text message and told all the time, where's the podcast? We like the podcast. Glad I can bring it to you. Glad my information is valuable. So let's go into the picks for this week. Do you believe in Magic against the greatest of all time, GOAT? I'm terrified of this matchup. I don't like Tom Brady. I hate playing the guy. I don't like him personally. I'm nervous about that running back from New England's got now, Sony. I think that I'm going to go with the GOAT this week, believe it or not. I don't. Do you believe in Magic's team is like Jekyll and Hyde? One week they score a lot of points, next week you don't know what the hell you're going to get from them. So I'm going to go with the GOAT to get this victory. Oklahoma versus TNT, who's dynamite. I went against TNT, who's dynamite last week for a good reason because he lost. I'm going to go with TNT this week because I think he beats Oklahoma. 6165 show against P&L. I played P&L firsthand last week. I know he's got some firepower on his team. He's making trades, pickups, trying to make his team better. I'm still going to go with the 6165 show, who seems to be on the site 24/7 because every time someone makes a pickup, there he is making that pickup of that same guy in his conference. So 6165 show gets the victory and gets back on the winning streak this week. DNZ against Hardcore. I'm going to go with DNZ to beat Hardcore. Hardcore has two, Hardcore and GOAT, two teams, really solid, and two more teams you guys might want to watch out for, both with good records. I'm going with DNZ to pull the upset on Hardcore this week. Total Chaos against Mile High Club. Total Chaos just hates being 1-3. Talked to him this week. He says he's making trades to try to better his team. He's going to get beat by Mile High Club this week to be 1-4, and let's see if he can come back and win the division from that point like he told me he did last year. Beast Mode, who I am on board with, is winning against Fig Jam. I'm going with Beast Mode this week. He will convincingly beat Fig Jam. Sunshine Daydream against Bohica. Jason Cherry's second team, Fig Jam and Bohica. I'm going to go with Bohica to beat Sunshine Daydream. I picked Sunshine Daydream last week to get a win. This week I'm picking him to get a loss, so I'm going with Bohica. Wanna be like Mike against Groovy Newbie. I'm going with wanna be like Mike to beat the Groovy Newbie this week. Pain Inc. I'm already rolling with you. You already know that. Playing big ball and shot calling. Big ball and shot calling. I love you, how active you are. You want to win. You're trading, picking up, doing what you got to do. Pain Inc.'s got too much firepower for you, though, bro. I'm going with Pain Inc. Light My Fire is going to get the win this week over That Was Then, This Is Now. That Was Then, This Is Now pulled Trey last week that did not help his team whatsoever. And he does not manage his team properly. Still starting Jack Doyle tight end even though he's out and not picking one up. I'm going with Light My Fire. Playtime is over. We'll get the win over Gotcha Biatch. I played him last week with my other team. Put the whooping to him. His team is solid. He could sneak me. I'm going to go with Playtime. That's the better one of my two teams. Even though I got running back issues with Fournette out, I'm going to go with Playtime. Last but not least, we got Old Shy Pie against Nothing But Trouble. Old Shy Pie is a big favorite. Looks like 30 points on this paper as I printed it on the site. But not so fast, my friend. I am going with Nothing But Trouble. I predict that team owner Nick of Old Shy Pie and of Groovy Newbie will go 0-2 this week. He loves what I pick against him, so I'm going to keep the trend going. That's the end of the podcast. Hope everybody enjoys it. Be safe. Stay warm. See y'all next week for the podcast. Chiefs against the Patriots. Peace.